Welcome to the Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast, bringing you the country's top podcast on the subject of internet marketing research. I'm your host, Glenn Thayer, and today we have with us on the program the co-founder and CEO of Intuitive Websites, Thomas Young. Tom, why is it important to conduct market research as far as your internet marketing is concerned?
Here's why it's important. First of all, it supports your strategy. And second of all, it enables you to get inside the head of your customers. In an earlier podcast, we talked about an internet marketing plan and what the key components of that plan were. Well, market research really supports the general plan. It supports the strategy of the plan. And it does that by getting inside the head of customers and trying to understand what's important to them, what their hot buttons are, and so forth. A big part of market planning is research, and research is the starting point for this. What can happen with the internet, and I've seen this many times, is that you can have a sample size of one conflict. And what that is where you have a small group of people making decisions which impact many, many people.
Would that be an example of, like, if I was to look at the web page and say, okay, this is what I like as a consumer on the web, and of course I have a certain set of needs and wants and what I'm looking for, but someone else who's looking at it can have a totally different set of expectations on what they're looking for. Some people like flash and a lot of glitz and want to see that multimedia content. Other people don't want to have any of it and want to just see text. Give me the information. Is that really what you're looking at, a sample size of one? Is that what you're...
Exactly. On the web, you can think of it as the web being inside a vacuum, or the people that are creating the website being inside a vacuum. They really can't see what the user sees because they're too close to their business. They're inside of it. And so what happens is they put their ideas out and they develop a website that they think is important for their own business needs. And many times there's a gap between their needs and what the customer needs, what the user wants to see on the website. And that's the sample size of one conflict. So what market research does then is it increases your sample size. So instead of a sample size of one, you have a sample size of many, and you have a more accurate reflection of why people come to your website and what they're looking to do. When you think about the web and you think about the key people in a company that are developing this website, they have got to get outside of their head and inside the head of their customers and users. And that is what market research does. You use this research then to test assumptions and to support your strategy. So if one of your assumptions is Flash is a good thing for us, we need a lot of graphics and content and we want to have a beautiful looking website, that's an assumption. If you go ask your users, you might likely find that that's not that important to them. What they want to see is valuable content and information on your products and services that can help them make a better decision on who they're going to choose as a vendor or supplier or to buy their next purchase from that site.
Now, isn't internet marketing research expensive?
Well, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be expensive, but it only should be as expensive as the ROI that you're expecting to get from it. Market research can be as simple as a few brief phone calls to a few customers to a very extensive plan with many different types of research programs all coming together. The key thing with market research, as with anything on the web, is that you should have a good idea of what you're looking to get in return. For example, if you put a few $1,000s into researching customers to find out, is this type of navigation intuitive on our website, and then you come back and make changes, well, then hopefully you're going to have a better conversion rate. That conversion rate then justifies the expense of doing this market research. I've always felt, and I think that smart business leaders feel this way, that it is a great business investment to understand your target market. And that's what market research does for you.
Now, what makes internet marketing research different?
Well, the web is an interactive medium, and it happens one user at a time. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you have a department store or if you have a group of salespeople, the interactions are very different than what you see on the web, because the web is a one-on-one interaction that can happen many users at a time. And because of that type of interaction, it's a great medium to collect data, because the user is usually focused and they don't have the distractions of all the other components of doing business with you. And the web is interactive. So it's a great way then to get that direct feedback from them. The other part of this is that the website says so much about your company. In fact, in many ways, a website is an online business plan. It describes who you are and what you're all about and what your value proposition is and so forth. So what a great way to get information back about your business than for someone to review your business plan right there in front of them. And who better to do this than customers who are the folks that are keeping you in business to start with.
Now, looking at that, as far as the research is concerned, is this something that's going to be used ongoing? Meaning, obviously, when you set up a new business and you're going to have an online presence, you want to do the research. Obviously, you have a business plan, then you have an internet marketing plan, and you're going to do research ahead of time to do that. Now, once those plans are implemented, how does one go about researching to make sure it's effective once it's launched?
Well, it is ongoing, absolutely, and you've hit on some